Welcome, boys. Okay, in this video, we're going to address a problem we just had with the P71. So, after I've done the diff lube change on this a while back, I've noticed that occasionally whenever I park it, and I get done after work, I get home, and I walk by the back of the car to get stuff, I've noticed when I get by this wheel, I smell diff fluid. And I thought, well, I must have spilled some on the ground around here. This is about where I did the diff lube change. I must have spilled some on the ground, and maybe that's what I smell. It must have soaked into the asphalt, and I'm smelling the off-gassing. So I kind of disregarded it. Well, yesterday I took it on a really long drive, a couple counties away, came back, did some work on it with some forescan, and then I took it out for a little test drive after that, and then when I came back, I noticed a little puddle. And I go, that puddle must have been there when the car was sitting there, because I parked it back in a little bit of a different spot, but not up as far. I saw a little bit of puddle in front of the tire. And I touched it and I smelled it, and I go, man, I don't know what this is. It smells like nothing. It's got no smell to it. It looks kind of oily and greasy. What could it be? And I go, do I have like leaking something? So I looked on the inside of the wheel. And I was like, holy crap, it's like a freaking crime scene up in here. The back of this plate is all... Here, let me get some light in here for you. I was like, holy crap, this is all greasy. The tire's all greasy. You can't see it from here, but, the mud flap's greasy, and the inside of the wheel well is all freaking greasy. I was like, holy crap, what happened? So I'm, panicking, I'm pulling the wheel off, I'm looking at everything, and at this point I can't tell if it's diff fluid or brake fluid. The brakes all seem to be working, and so I come to the conclusion it has to be diff fluid, which is weird because normally it reeks, but this didn't have much of an odor to it. So I kind of cleaned the wheel last night, but I'm going to have to pressure wash it, I guess, to really clean it. I'm going to have to pressure wash all this stuff off. And I thought, you know what? It must have been when I changed this diff fluid over to that full synthetic. It must have caused the seal to go bad. I thought, damn it, man. But then, I thought about it. I go, man, is that really plausible? I mean, that's not really a thing. I just watched a Project Farm video like a month ago about how that wasn't, it was a myth. Tested in his little tractor. And I always thought that was an old wives' tale. So I got to look on the diff at the little vent tube, which is normally right over there. This little nipple is. I already pulled the hose off. And what happens when I blow through it, do you ask? I can't blow anything through it. So I think this just clogged up with something. And that's what the problem is. Now, what I'm hoping didn't happen is it built up too much pressure in here while driving on the highway or something, and it just completely blew the seal out. I'm afraid that's what happened. It would have been nice if all that happened was it caused a little bit of a leak, and now if I clear this out, it won't leak anymore, but I'm not going to know that until I drive it. So, unfortunately, what I'm going to do is... So we're going to clean this out, put it back in. I'm going to put some AT205 reseal in here. I'm just going to dump it in through this nipple, I guess. I'm assuming that should go where it needs to go and eventually settle in here and then get to these seals. So what I'm hoping is it'll recondition that seal in case it didn't completely fail or tear. And then we're going to clean this off, and then we're going to drive it tomorrow and Saturday, I guess, to and from work. And then if this stuff comes back, then unfortunately all that stuff before was for naught, and I'm going to take this whole diff cover off, take the damn axles out, replace the stupid seal in the bearing, and then put the damn axle shaft back in and put it back up, and then pump it full of diff lube again, which I really, really, really do not want to do. If there's one thing I hate, plus we're going to have to take all the brakes off. The brakes and the e-brake, all that's going to have to come off again. So all that work would have been for nothing, so just do it again anyway. So I'm hoping that's not the problem. I'm hoping I didn't completely blow that seal out. But yeah, you know, we're not gonna know until we get in there, or until we, you know, get rid of this restriction and then see what happens. So, all right, let's figure out what I can use to clean this thing. Okay, so with a little bit of brake parts clean, a stick, which is one of these sticks, and my air compressor, which is in the basement, I went ahead and managed to clear the obstruction. So after I sprayed a bunch of brake cleaner in there, I kind of shook it up, and then stuck my stick down in there after straightening this a little, and then I could feel it breaking something free. So I started to blow, and then a little bit of an obstruction started coming out there. It was like mud or something, which is weird because I don't ever go off-roading in this thing, but whatever. So some gunk blew that out, and then now we're good. Yeah. So now that we can blow clean through this, we should go ahead and put it back on after I put a little bit of AT205 reseal. So hopefully, like I said, I didn't blow the damn seal out. But we won't know that until I clean everything and then check again. So I got the air pressure washer, so I'm going to pressure wash the inside of that, and then I guess we'll get it off the ramps. I'll jack it up, pull the wheel off, spray the whole wheel, spray the inside of that, readjust the parking brake since it's now coated in oil, and then I think, well, I guess I'll drive it for a couple days and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I didn't blow the seal out, because I really don't want to do all that crap again, but if I did, whatever. You guys can watch a video on how to change your stupid axle seals after you blow them out because your stupid thing was clogged up because you didn't freaking check it when you did the diff, because why would you when it's like way the hell up in the air and curved like this? Like, what the hell could possibly get up in there? Alright. We'll see how the cleaning goes. Okay, so we pressure washed the underneath. Drove it off the ramps. See if I get some light, see if it looks any better. And the survey says, well, if it does, it's only a little bit. So let's get the wheel off and see what's doing in there. Okay, well, we pressure washed it, I guess, clean. Hard to tell because it's still all water. What I'm going to have to do is probably take it for a drive and let the air dry it off. Same with this. Got the wheel and everything back on. So that looks pretty clean back there. I had all this off. That's about as good as we can do, I guess. Looks like we still got quite a bit of grease in there, but the good news is, if we start getting any more on the underside of here, we'll be able to see it. Probably the same with the back. Here, let me see, that's much cleaner than it was. It was completely greasy. Now it's just wet slightly. But driving it around for a minute should probably knock all the rust off the rotor, dry everything in here, except for all the grease that's still built up in here. Just fought my best efforts to pressure wash it out. I think I did get some of it. But when we had as much in there as I did, you know, it is what it is. Alright, we'll assemble it, take it for a drive, and then see what the tire looks like when it's dry, I guess. And then I'll report back in a couple days and see if we need to do an axle job or not. Okay, boys, let me climb under here. So, we still have a little bit of staining here on the exhaust. So, that'll have to just burn off, I guess. I just took it for a little drive. I can smell diff fluid, but it could be diff fluid burning off the exhaust. I think the mud flap's kind of clean. Inside of the tire still is like freaking coated with it, but I can't tell if it's fresh or not. You know, hard to say. So I guess the only way we're really going to be able to tell is if it starts running down the backside of this plate again. That'll be the only way we'll tell, because that's fairly clean, as you can see. So I guess if the inside of the wheel starts getting covered with grease and that backing plate there starts getting covered with grease, then we'll know we need to do an axle seal job. because there's really no other way to tell. This tire is going to be like this, I guess. I mean, I guess. I don't know how I would even get this. How do I even get this stuff off? So, all right. For now, we'll just cross our fingers and pray to the car god that cleaning out that vent tube was enough to save us. And there's our vent tube still there. So, we'll see what happens with it. Maybe we'll get lucky. So, either the next video will be axle seal or something else. And if it's something else, then hooray! We won. Thanks for watching, boys. Peace.